Under the Lights on CBS19 is sponsored by Bill Dickinson Chevrolet, Ultra Federal Credit Union, Smith Dental Care, and Heat & Eye Associates.
Well, howdy East Texas, and welcome into Under the Lights. I'm Bryce Broneisen.
And I'm Serenity Douglas. So many great games, so many great highlights, some top plays to get into, but we're not there just yet. We got to start with our Game of the Week.
There you go. Over at Game of the Week, we're going to find Dan Millay. Still out at Lions Stadium in Henderson. Dan, it wasn't an easy pregame pick, but what became of New Diana versus West Rusk tonight?
Yeah, hey Bryce, hey Serenity. This was a matchup that we were all looking forward to. The big question coming into the game, would West Rusk kind of continue to be a dominant playoff team, or would New Diana maybe pave a new path for themselves? Let's check out some highlights and see what happened. All right, time for some Conference 3A Division II playoff action. West Rusk and New Diana trying to make it to regionals. The Raiders received the kickoff to start the game. Jace Reasoner is back there to make the catch. And it was about this time I started thinking about Serenity, saying all my winner picks are wrong. West Rusk on top 7-0 to start the game. Later on, though, the Eagles are trying to make things happen, but that pass is picked off. Ty Harper makes the catch on defense, and that's a playoffs pick 6. Raiders extend their lead. Oh, but it's not going to stop there. They're right back on the goal line again. This time, Cole Jackson takes the handoff, and he shoots through the middle. Raiders would extend their lead to an early 28-0 advantage. New Diana wasn't just going to lay down, though. Quarterback DeJuan Johnson finding the end zone all by himself here to cut into that West Rusk lead. Guys, New Diana fought hard, but today the playoff experience won out. West Rusk is moving on. For the Eagles, certainly nothing to be ashamed of. It was a really great turnaround season and definitely something that they can build on going forward. For the Raiders, meanwhile, they'll face the winner of Hooks versus Dangerfield next Friday.
Dan, thank you. And like you said, really nothing to be ashamed of. New Diana, not many people saw this coming, let alone making it to the second round of the playoffs. 50-35 your final, and West Rusk will play Dangerfield as they beat Hooks, and we'll have those highlights a little later as well.
All right, I'm 1 for 3. Sorry, Dan.
Yeah,
so
you better keep an eye out. You're
going to
be coming for him now. Let's go on to the next one. A good one at our mobile set game, which you saw earlier. Harmony Eagles ready to take on the ARP Tigers, who came off a fantastic overtime win last week at Hallsville Bobcat Stadium with a trip to the area round in their sights. But really, it was all Harmony early. Boston Seahorn on the keeper here. Man, he was just taking hits all night long, but he kept finding those open spaces a little bit at a time. There's a nice first down there, gets right back up. Then the next play, here's this one out, finds Tyson Jenkins down the sideline. Nice little over-the-shoulder catch. That keeps the chains moving. And really, everyone's getting the ball this drive. Handoff to Evan Weber on the goal line now. He's going to power it on for 6. First score of the game, and it's Harmony that strikes first. And they're going to decide to go for 2. So guess what? It's going to be Boston Seahorn on the keeper again, but this time he's not going to get tackled. He's in for the easy 2-point conversion. All right, I'm trying to make something happen now before they fall too far behind. They're going to have 3rd and long. Frank Smith looking for somebody, rolling out looking for a receiver, but caught from behind, takes a tough sack. Harmony rolling early, and it just continued. A tough end of the season for ARP as Harmony is up 48-14 in the 4th. This one just about to go final, but you can consider that result just about done there for the Harmony Eagles. Yeah,
ARP has been looking good all year, but like I said in the pregame show, if the Eagles just concentrate on Frank Smith, because he's a real playmaker, then they could make some gains, and they absolutely did with that one. So good season for them. Now let's head over to the Mesquite Memorial Stadium, where the Longview Lobos are taking on the Frisco Reedy Lions. Now we're just going to go ahead and get right into these highlights. We start with the Lobos in possession with the ball. That's quarterback Andrew Tutt. He takes the snap and hands it off to Taylor Tatum. He pushes his way through all that Lions defense. You see him coming out on the other end. He likes that one. Now Longview is now at the goal line once again, and looking this time, that's Tutt. He takes a snap and gives the ball right to Tatum again for their first touchdown of the game. Nice little combination. Tutt to Tatum every single time is going to be unstoppable. Now Frisco Reedy, they now have the ball, and they basically wasted no time. This is the playoffs round 2 to get into Lobos territory. That's quarterback Jake Fernan. He takes the snap and he hands it off to Khalil Smith to push right on through. Now Longview back with the ball. And check this one out. Keep your eyes open because Tut takes the snap and throws it so long all the way to running back Kelvin Washington. He completes that pass and runs it right on in for another Lobos touchdown. He's happy about that one, and they should be. And I'm pretty sure Longview took this one.
Oh, yeah.
52-14 final.
Up next for Longview is a district rematch with Lancaster. That'll be at Forney next Friday. That's definitely when we'll have our eyes on there. Let's go to another great story we had this year. Down in Crockett, where we find the Overton Mustangs. They're taking on the Mart Panthers, a powerhouse. Let's get right into it. First quarter here. Bryce Still is going to be looking downfield, and he's going to go to Rylan Holman. All the way deep, wait for it, and he's going to make that catch, setting them up nicely toward that end zone. Mustangs going to go for that same little move here. Still looks for a pass for Holloman, but it's being intercepted by Abram Ross. Goes downfield all the way down for being taken down by Matthew McPherson. And no, the Mustang mascot is not going to approve there. A little stone face there. Second quarter now. That's where Overton starts to pick up steam. Going long to Isaiah Hawkins. This one's caught, and he's going to go all the way. No one's going to catch him. Hawkins all the way to the house, and the Mustangs on the board. Let's go momentum. Keep it going here after that touchdown. Mustangs again going to kick the ball low. It's going to be stumbling a little bit. Ball is loose. And ball's still loose. Cash Holloman is going to take possession of the ball. And it's Mustangs ball. A little effective, kind of onside squib kick there. But there you go. Overton ball. And now the Mustangs doing what works best for them. It's going to be Bryce Still again downfield to Hawkins. A little repeat of the previous play. He's going to go ahead and cruise on into the end zone, putting them on the board again. And as much as I love Overton, it was not to be. 66-14. But major shout out for the season they've had. Their best one in 30 years, a 10-win season under head coach Scotty LeMance. Man, major shout out to Overton.
Yeah, fantastic season for them. But we're going to head over for a Thursday game. We're headed over to Beckville versus Garrison at Lobo Stadium. They had a little bit of okay weather, but that's how Thursday playoff games go. Now we're going to start in the first quarter for these highlights. That's Jacoby Williams. He's not getting off to the best start this time because the Bulldog defense was hunting him down every single play. It looks like they studied their film on him a lot. Now Garrison with possession. Now that's Braden Davison. He spots Javian Black, who goes down the sidelines. He's met with a couple of Bearcats right there at the end, but it's okay because he ends up getting into the end zone, tying the game up. I'm sorry, getting on the board first. Now Williams, he takes the snap, he finds the hole, and he trucks someone in the process. And he's going to go all the way. Y'all just needed to let him cook because the beast has now been woken up. Now the second quarter, you don't see him just yet, but you're going to see him pop right out of that pack, and he's taken off. Like I said, they woke him up before, and he's completely woken up now. That's Jacoby Williams once again, getting on the board for Beckville. And like that sign says, can't stop what you can't catch. But this is the playoffs, and Davison, with plenty of time to look, he spots Briley Montgomery out in the open, tying the game up at 14 just like that. Garrison's offense responds. They look great, and this is where they separate themselves right before halftime, making it 21-14 with that quarterback keeper. And it's going to be Garrison who ends up taking this one 42-28, and they play Cooper next week. And but we caught up with Coach Alvarez in the process.
It was a great team win tonight. We had some guys make some big plays right before half. We were throwing the ball, move it down the field. The guys, just do a great job, make plays. Our defense did a great job trying to, contain that guy, Jacoby. He's a phenomenal player. But, our guys, they really came out. They played their heart off, and I can't be more proud of them. It was a great team win.
All right, well, we got to take a deep breath now from all those playoff highlights. We'll have a lot more where those come from. But first, we're going to take a quick break and check some of the day's biggest news headlines. Here's Brendan Gurley.
Bryce, Serenity East Texas will be back in the national spotlight this weekend, days after the Pope removed the bishop of the Tyler Diocese from his position. Supporters of Bishop Joseph Strickland are planning to show up in big numbers tomorrow for what they're calling a rosary procession in March. The event is being organized by the group Knights of the Republic, which is based in Conroe. The group told us attendees will pray the Holy Rosary in support of Strickland and in defense of the church. In a social media post regarding the march on Tyler, Bishop Strickland said, quote, "I pray this effort is prayerful, respectful, and focused on Jesus," end quote. Tyler Police says officers are providing security. It begins at 10 a.m. Saturday. We'll be there and bring you complete coverage on air and online. It's officially the holiday season. Next week is Thanksgiving and Christmas is just around the corner. And this weekend, the city of Longview is getting into the holiday spirit. The city's Christmas tree will soon be shining bright. A lighting ceremony is set for tomorrow in Heritage Plaza. The celebration includes a petting zoo, pony rides, carriage rides, and even photos with the big man. The party gets underway at 4 and they'll flip the switch to light up the tree around 5:30. Taking a look around the community now, the holidays are also the season of giving, and this week is National Collection Week for Operation Christmas Child. All over the U.S., people are filling hundreds of thousands of shoe boxes with gifts for children in other countries. Grace Community School is the central drop-off of East Texas, and many students have volunteered to pack and load those boxes. Organizers say if you would like to donate, you still have time.
So we will be collecting shoe boxes here at the Grace High School on Saturday from 10 to 2, on Sunday from 1 to 3, and Monday, the 20th, is our final drop-off date, and we will be here from 9 to 1 o'clock.
If you're interested in packing a shoe box, you can include things like stuffed animals, toiletries, school supplies, and small toys. Reporting in the studio, I'm Brennan Gurley.
Thank you, Brennan. We promised you lots of highlights, so make sure to stick around because we'll have a lot more of those coming up right after the break.
Under the Lights on CBS19 is sponsored by Bill Dickinson Chevrolet.
Hi folks, Bill Dickinson here with Bill Dickinson Chevrolet. And yes, we are changing the car buying experience with our non-commissioned salespeople. And just for logging on to bdchevy.com, click a vehicle of your choice and you can calculate the car payments right down to the very penny in the comfort of your own home based on your own credit. Log on to bdchevy.com. We have over 100 pre-owned vehicles to choose. All makes and models. There's something for everyone at bdchevy.com.
BD Chevy has something for everyone.
We get feedback whenever I will call the patient at night, and they just are so ecstatic about the overall procedure and how our staff was taking care of the patients. At Smith Dental Care, I think it's not just the dentist, it's the staff and the way everybody treats every single patient.
'Tis the season to discover freedom from glasses and contacts with all laser LASIK at Heaton Eye Associates. Right now, bring a donation of a new unwrapped toy to benefit CASA for Kids and receive up to $1,000 off your LASIK procedure with up to 24 months interest-free financing. Schedule your free all-laser LASIK consultation today and celebrate this holiday season with clear, natural vision. Merry Christmas from Heaton Eye Associates.
Title Max got your money, your real money.
Get started at TitleMax.com and turn your title into cash. Get up to $10,000 today using your car title. Most credit types accepted.
I got $2,500 with my car title from TitleMax.
Visit TitleMax.com today to find out how much you can get.
I got $1,500 with a personal loan from TitleMax.
Life is full of options, but when it comes to cash, the choice is clear.
Get your title back with TitleMax.
We love to do sedation dentistry to provide a way for patients who typically avoid the dentist. We bring in a board-certified anesthesiologist that allows us dentists to be able to focus on the patient while the anesthesiologist is taking care of their comfort levels.
Under the Lights on CBS19 is sponsored by Smith Dental Care.
Gilmer won their first round of playoffs to center last Friday. Now, Will Henderson, it was on the back of him, scoring 5 touchdowns, making him our player of the week.
Will's is just really explosive. All we need to do is just get him in space, and he just takes off. He uses that 10-2 speed, and he's gone.
If you're just talking pure athleticism, he is off the charts.
When Will Henderson takes the field, he's like an Energizer bunny that's been fully charged. But he wasn't just born with all that speed.
I think it started with summer track. Yeah, I started summer track like 13. I used to be slow. Not slow, but I got humbled because I thought I was just going to go out there and beat everybody. I worked a few, say like a year or something. Got fat, like super fast, and it just took up ever since. I run track for football because track, you know, for football you have to have speed. Will was the 2023 UIL state champion in the 100-meter dash with a blazing time of 10:28.
There are just not many people who run a 10:2 in 100 meters at a state track meet. You know, I'd love to say that I'll coach somebody like that again, I hope we have a bunch of them, but I'm not going to hold my breath.
Not only is he fast, he's a selfless teammate too.
This Jerome, this my center, this Sean, and this Spence right here. You know, they my linemen. They here because they helped me get 5 touchdowns, so I wanted to bring them to show y'all the reason why I'm so successful.
Will was able to rack up 4 out of those 5 touchdowns during the first half alone, shocking the crowd, but not him or his teammates.
Oh, they just made big holes for me to run through, so it wasn't hard. I just had to make one cut, make a linebacker miss, and that's it.
This game, I just knew the game was over, so he got the 3rd touchdown. The game was over.
Will's goals for the future are cut and dry.
My goal is just about my mom and dad's house, really. I want to provide for them how they provide for me when I was born. We plan to win. You know, we don't want to lose right now and just have our season cut short for like little mistakes. So we plan to win and blow them out.
Reporting in Gilmer, I'm Serenity Douglas, CBS 19. I loved getting to catch up with him. He was so selfless.
Yeah,
when he brought all
awesome.
his players out, he was like, I want them to be in it too.
I love seeing recognition like that. It's really humble of him too as well.
For sure. Coach Metzel, he has a good group over there.
Yeah, well, let's go right on to it. Last night, the Gilmer Buckeyes looking to keep their season alive, taking on the Sunnyvale Raiders. A light missed at Rose Stadium, but they're going to go ahead and meet up for the coin toss as they're looking for a trip to the next round. Gilmer getting the ball first, and so Caden Tennyson is going to get the snap, and he's going to go ahead and launch one right away. Check it out. It's going deep, and it is going to be caught by Brendan Webb. Gets up and gets it right past midfield. Big first down for Gilmer, but just a field goal on that drive. Let's go to the next drive now. We're going to go ahead and hand it off to who else? Our player of the week, Will Henderson. He's got breakaway speed down the sideline. He's going to break a tackle. He's going to take this one all the way into the red zone for a great gain to set them up. Gilmer on the 1-yard line now. So, of course, you got to bring out the big guns. Aaron Bell this time is going to take the handoff, and he's going to power in just way too easy. Gilmer takes a 10-0 lead early in this one, but it got crazy. A game-winning field goal with 7 seconds left for Gilmer, and the Buckeyes are going to survive and advance. Gilmer is going to the regional semifinals for the 17th year in a row. They'll play the winner of Van and Aubrey next round, and also Will Henderson set the record that game for most touchdowns in a season in Gilmer program history, which is crazy for Gilmer because they're a storied program.
Exactly, but I can't necessarily be too surprised. Such a great athlete, and as you can tell in those highlights. But we're going to head over to the Friday game, moving on to Carthage versus Van Alstyne. Now, the Carthage has the ball, and of course, it's star Jet Surratt. He's going to hand it off to KJ Edwards, who had 1 touchdown already called back. So he wants that revenge, but he'll just get the first down. He'll settle for that just for now, but we're just gonna let him cook. Now it's the dynamic duo. Once again, Surratt, he's gonna hand it off to Edwards, who goes in, and he finally gets that touchdown to sweep it for the 7-0 just for the Bulldogs. Now let's keep rolling with the Carthage Bulldogs. Scoring machine. This time it's Surratt. He's up under the center. A deep pass down the sidelines to Braden Manning, who gets past the defenders and takes it all the way into the end zone. They're up 14-0. Every week we're just looking to see how much they're going to win by. Now we're going to skip on to the second quarter, and Carthage has the ball, still all gas, no brakes, and Surratt with the fake handoff to Edwards. Kind of gets the camera guy in the process there, but he throws it deep to his receiver, Manning, once again in the end zone. Carthage will continue to score touchdowns. So I want to see that final score.
I don't even think the starters played the second half again.
I don't think so. At this point, they're going to be nice and fresh for state.
Well, let's say it right now because it's already confirmed. Carthage versus Pleasant Grove next Friday, 2 p.m. at Pine Tree Pirate Stadium. Top 3 matchup in the state. Right away, third round, okay.
I mean, and an afternoon game, nice and early for them.
Well, after Thanksgiving, people still going to be thinking about that meal. They're going to go right to some football.
Yeah, Carthage is going to be ready to eat for that one.
There you go. Hey, let's find out what the weather is going to look like for this weekend and beyond. Here's Chief Meteorologist Brett Anthony.
Hi, East Texas. It was cool and cloudy for this round of high school football games. Now, overnight, the clouds remain stubborn as we drop to 56. Hour by hour tomorrow, some rays of sunshine possible. A north wind and another cool day with high temperatures in the upper 60s. Tree lighting ceremony over in Longview. The tree is lit at 5:30. Event gets underway at 4, 68 degrees at that time. By 6 o'clock, we're down to 62 degrees. The event wraps up with temperatures in the upper 50s. So near 70 for the high with some some sunshine, and then we head into Sunday morning. We'll have temperatures in the mid-50s. By Sunday afternoon, we see a few rogue showers moving through the area, and this will set us up for the potential to have severe weather on Monday as high temperatures warm into the mid and even upper 70s. Here's your Bill Scott White, Texas Spine and Joint Hospital 7-day forecast. A seasonably cool day Saturday with a sun cloud blend and a high of 68. Breezy on Sunday up to 70, rain and thunder, and the potential for severe weather Monday.
Hey, you want more highlights? You know where to stay. Don't change that channel. We'll be right back.
Under the Lights on CBS19 is sponsored by Ultra Federal Credit Union.
Are you ready to get more from your checking account? Ultra's A+ accounts are built with more in mind. More ways to stay connected to your finances with online and mobile banking. More secure ways to pay with contactless debit cards and mobile wallet, so you can make purchases without slowing down. More money in your pocket with better rates, no minimum balance, and no monthly fees. Open your account online and start getting more from your checking account. Ultra Federal Credit Union, helping you live your best life.
Family owned since 1966, East Texans have put their trust in Tyler Weathermakers and Carrier for all of their heating and cooling needs, providing efficient Carrier AC systems for homes and businesses. With competitive pricing, quality installation, servicing on all brands, and 24-hour emergency service, our clients feel good inside.
We make you feel good inside, Tyler.
Turn to the experts.
Weathermakers.
Why is Roberts & Roberts so highly recommended? It's because of the personal attention we give you.
From the first call until your case is closed, our team is ready to respond to your immediate needs.
We work hard to get you a fair and timely resolution.
When you choose Roberts & Roberts, we take care of everything, so you can focus on what matters most.
'Tis the season to discover freedom from glasses and contacts with all laser LASIK at Eaton Eye Associates. Right now, bring a donation of a new unwrapped toy to benefit CASA for Kids and receive up to $1,000 off your LASIK procedure with up to 24 months interest-free financing. Schedule your free all-laser LASIK consultation today and celebrate this holiday season with clear, natural vision. Merry Christmas from Eaton Eye Associates.
Under the Lights on CBS19 is sponsored by Heaton Eye Associates.
All right, it's playoff time, so Serenity, I think we got to get right back into some highlights.
Yeah, let's jump right into it. Not too much to say. We're just going to go ahead and go. It was a packed house at Rose Stadium for the Malakoff Tigers facing off the Mount Vernon Tigers. Malakoff is already up 21-7, and that's who? Mike Jones. He hands that thing right on off to Jerrion Hall, being chased by one defender, but he's way too fast as he makes his way in, and the extra point is good, making it 28-7. Now they're at the goal line ready to score. Again, this time that's Bubba Hicks, eating a couple tackles in the process and securing that touchdown and furthering that lead. Now Mount Vernon, that's Cade Monroe. He's launching it deep, and he had a failed attempt earlier, but he connects with this one. That's McKee Perry. So much momentum that he had to hurdle there at the end. They're still down by 21, though. Then that's Mike Jones, once again. I love it. Finding his receiver, who's met with two Tiger defenders, but some good gains for them getting them into the red zone. But after many failed touchdown attempts, they end up with a field goal, but 38-14 before halftime. That's a big one. So 66-21, can't be surprised at the rate that was going.
Malakoff, number 2 in the state, they're still rolling, but let's go right on to number 3 in the state right behind them. The Winsboro Red Raiders are taking the field in Kaufman tonight. They're ready to show the crowd why they're called the Raiders. All right, let's go here. Kyler Finney, you know he's going to get you some highlights. Let's see. Going deep. Who's he going for? It's got to be Will Wilcox. It is. He reaches up, grabs it, and he's going to burn that defender all the way in for a Red Raiders touchdown. That connection as good as peanut butter and jelly. Let's go on right to it. The Raiders, they're not done yet. They got those flashing lights there. They're ready to keep it rolling now and show why they're number 3 in the state. Take a look at this touchdown. Pass out to Will Wilcox again. Woo, shakes the tackle. Oh my goodness, he's still going. He's still going. That's a big guy, and he gets all the way in for the touchdown. Man, that was impressive right there. Put that on the top plays. All right. Teague has the ball now. They're trying to get a touchdown, trying to keep up with Winsboro here. Shane Tedford is going to spoil their plans. He's going to go ahead and he's going to say no touchdown tonight with a little pass breakup there. Winsboro was rolling. My only question is, what was the final score? 73.
That
wow.
rugged red.
We see a 66 piece from Malakoff. Winsboro says, how about a 73 ball?
73, like that was impressive, but 73 is better.
They're rolling.
Now moving on, the Tatum Eagles, they take the field ready to take down the Whitney Wildcats in the second round of playoffs. Now the Eagles with a solid win last week, they're hoping to go ahead and repeat that. Now the ball's bouncing on the field, but Tatum's Caden Tatum, he grabs it and he takes off trying to gain some serious yardage, and it's looking like he is for the most part, but no touchdowns just yet. He's finally taken down, but we're going to see if they're able to pull something off a little bit later. Now next up, we're right at the end zone. Whitney has possession. They're trying to get a touchdown, but Tatum trips them up and they just fall short of it. It looks like he was in, but it'll be just short. We're going to see if they can get that later on. Not too much happening just yet, no touchdowns, but there's the kick. Whitney's Jadarn Anderson. He snags it, but Rylan Freeman and DK Leach, they team up and take him down. Now, it doesn't look like much action yet, but wait till you see that final score, 50-14. See, that's why you shouldn't leave a game early, because that could happen.
Yeah, that's a tough ending for Tatum, too. Of course, we always want our East Texas teams to win. District champs, though, for the first time in 10 years. We talked about that a little earlier as well. So overall, pretty solid there.
Yeah, I feel like we've seen some solid losses. I hate to say that, but solid losses.
Yeah, I always hate saying that too, especially
good season.
You go with that, you know, you gotta give shout outs there. All right, well, when we come back, we're gonna have a little more analysis as well as looking at some of the games for next week in round 3 of the playoffs. We'll be right back.
Folks, Bill Dickinson here with Bill Dickinson Chevrolet. And yes, we are changing the car buying experience with our non-commissioned salespeople. And just for logging on to bdchevy.com, click a vehicle of your choice and you can calculate the car payments right down to the very penny in the comfort of your own home based on your own credit. Log on to bdchevy.com. We have over 100 pre-owned vehicles to choose. All makes and models. There's something for everyone at bdchevy.com.
BD Chevy has something for everyone.
When does a credit union become more than a credit union? Maybe it starts simple, getting you in a vehicle that's safe and reliable for your daily trips. Or maybe it's getting your dream vehicle for weekend adventures to remember. Whatever your vehicle needs are, Ultra is ready to go the extra mile. With professional loan experts, an easy application, and no payments for 90 days. Apply today at driveultra.org. Ultra Federal Credit Union, helping you live your best life.
Board certifications and legal awards show competence. I'm Darren Grant of the Grant & Flannery Law Firm, and I'm board certified in personal injury trial law in Texas. But more than that, what you really want is to choose a lawyer who you can work with, one who speaks your language and is available to answer your questions. We're not Grant & Flannery and Associates. I'll be your attorney from start to finish, not some unknown attorney in a back office. Call me. It won't cost you anything to see if we can help.
So with a busy season approaching, back pain started getting the best of me. My doctor said that spinal injections would help. She told me that Baylor Scott & White Texas Spine and Joint Hospital compromised nothing to safety and patient comfort. Their tenured staff and top-rated physicians earned them the Press Ganey Pinnacle of Excellence Award for patient satisfaction. Call 903-520-9696 to see how physician-owned Baylor Scott & White Texas Spine and Joint Hospital can help.
CBS19 Weather and Weather app are sponsored by Baylor Scott & White Texas Spine and Joint Hospital.
We've already seen a few top plays, but let's look at last week's top plays before.
Yeah, because last week's were pretty good too.
Yeah, let's get right into it, checking out last week's top plays. Let's kick off last week's top plays with something a little different. In our game of the week, this guy ran absolutely wild. Gilmer's Will Henderson finds some space down the sideline and is gone. Won a track state championship last year, and that will show you why. And just a few plays later, well, there's a second right up the middle for a big one for Gilmer. He was also our player of the week for a reason. Now he's taking this screen all the way to the house in the first half alone. Let's go ahead and count it up here. 1, 2, 3 touchdowns for Will Henderson in the first half. Now to Chapel Hill, Demetrius Brisbane has the launch codes, and way behind the coverage is Cameron Kelly. That connection is classic as peanut butter and jelly. How about some more running back love now? Tatum on the goal line. Handoff's going to go to Jamari Gibson. He's going to stretch this one across the goal line. Gets there just by an inch. Eagles strike first and head on to the next round. Last but not least, in the pouring rain, Clint Thurman still going deep. And bullseye finds Chad Ward, who gets the separation and the corner. Touchdown Lindale Eagles. The rain wasn't stopping them as they cap off another edition of our top plays from last week. Hey, one thing about East Texas, they're going to get you those top plays.
They are in those celebrations, the cockiness
yeah,
too.
I do. You see more in the playoffs too, I've noticed today.
You do.
You've seen a little more
They're
selly. I'm like,
feeling
okay, all right. Well, we see some of the matchups going final, so let's go ahead and look at some of these matchups which we're seeing in the area round. Round 3 of the playoffs. How could you not put this one at the very top here? Carthage and Pleasant Grove. That'll be at 2 p.m. Friday at Pine Tree. Winsboro and Whitney will be another one as well. Dangerfield and West Rusk. Definitely want to have our eyes on there. We'll look for a location on that, as well as Lovelady and Tenaha. Really interesting. Lovelady still undefeated, looking to take on the district champ Tenaha Tigers.
And then we saw Harmony last night tonight actually against ARP. They're going to be facing off with Newton, and then Lancaster and Longview are going to be facing off head-to-head. A nice little rematch for them. Gilmer and Aubrey, and then Garrison and Cooper. But I'm ready to see that Carthage and
Yeah, I was about to
Pleasant
say,
Grove.
that's got to be one on the list, without a doubt.
That's insane. Like, that's a state matchup to me. I don't know.
It should be, which is sometimes with that region. You know, last year we saw in the same thing, round 3, day after Thanksgiving, we saw Gilmer versus Carthage. Now we're seeing, because Pleasant Grove won that district, you're seeing Pleasant Grove versus Carthage. It's a matchup that's just too soon.
Yeah.
You wish you could see it in Arlington.
Yeah, for sure at the AT&T, but I mean, I'm ready to see it. It's fine.
Well, there you go. I mean, other ones too. I'm intrigued about Lovelady as well. It's their second straight undefeated regular season. They lost to Mart in the playoffs last year. Mart would still be looming if they beat Tenaha as well, but I don't know. Lovelady ranked top 5 in the state. Maybe if they get it rolling. We saw what Mart just did to Overton, though.
Yeah, that's true, but I'm ready to see Winsboro and Whitney. Whitney had a pretty big win, but like Winsboro has been killing it too with Kyler Finney. Like, I'm ready to see that one.
Well, then again, too, if we see Winsboro beat Whitney and Malakoff win their next one, you'd see in 2 weeks, that would be in the 4th round, Winsboro versus Malakoff for a second straight year.
Oh yeah, I need to see that one. We're like playing with the pieces here.
Absolutely. Well, I'm looking forward to that as well. A lot of great ones as well. Dangerfield and West Rusk was another that we saw. We're going to have more with West Rusk and New Diana, our game of the week, coming up just on the other side on CBS19 Plus. Make sure to head on over to our streaming service. We'll have all that, more highlights, and all that. Make sure to go on over there. We'll see you there.
CBS19 closed captioning is brought to you by Southside Bank. Southside Bank, serving East Texas for more than 60 years.
We get feedback whenever I
Hello, hello. Cool beans, I'm ready.
Under the Lights on CBS19 is sponsored by Bill Dickinson Chevrolet, Ultra Federal Credit Union, Smith Dental Care, and Heaton Eye Associates.
What's up, East Texas? Welcome to CBS 19 Plus and 30 more minutes of Under the Lights. I'm Bryce Brauneisen.
And I'm Serenity Douglas.
Hey, how about that game of the week? West Rusk and New Diana, one we had our eyes on all night.
I knew it was going to be a good one.
All right, well, let's get right into the highlights. Time for some Conference 3A D2 playoff action. West Rusk and New Diana trying to make it to the next round here. Raiders received the kickoff to start the game, and just check this out. Jace Reasoner back there to make the catch, and here we go. He's going to take this, find some space. Man, Reasoner breaks the tackle here. He's cooking now. All the way, he finds some space. He's got a convoy of blockers in front of him. He is gone. 80 yards on the opening kickoff. Talk about a hot start for West Rusk. Well, later on, New Diana making something happen, or at least trying to. That pass is overthrown, picked off. Ty Harper makes that catch on defense, and that is a pick six in the playoffs. And just like that, Raiders extend their lead to 14-0 right away. And right when you're about to think it again, well, they're on the goal line. This time it's going to be Cole Jackson taking the handoff. He's going to shoot right through the middle. Okay, now the Raiders are up 28-0, but New Diana is not going to just lay down, though. Quarterback DeJuan Johnson is going to find the end zone all by himself to go ahead and cut into that West Rusk lead. They tried a little late surge of a comeback, but it just wouldn't happen there. West Rusk 50-35, your final there. Let's go back over to Dan Millay, who's still at Henderson Lions Stadium. He caught up with winning head coach Rafe Mata right after this one. Talk about that big win. Hey, Dan.
Yeah, hey, Bryce. So we talked about, West Rusk having that playoff experience, and it certainly helped them out tonight. After the first quarter, they were up 28-0, but then it really became a back-and-forth game. So I asked Raiders head coach Rafe Mata after the fact how his team was able to hold on and kind of stave off the comeback from New Diana.
Well, it's funny you say grit. That's kind of been one of our words we use with them since August. Mental toughness, being tough, grit, just trying to find ways to battle through things. And like I said, New Diana is a good team. You knew they were going to be well coached. They executed big plays. So for us to be able to just come up with plays when we needed to, for them to be able to respond from some of the adversity that they did face tonight, it was a big deal for them. And couldn't be more proud of them. They came together at the end. They made plays when they had to. And I think it just kind of shows what kind of team this is becoming.
West Rusk takes this one 50-35 despite the insane comeback attempt from New Diana. In the fourth quarter alone, the Eagles scored on a kickoff return as well as an onside kick recovery. They really made it interesting down the stretch. Unfortunately, ball didn't bounce their way. But now, of course, the Raiders, they're headed to regionals, guys.
Dan, we appreciate it, but did they kick you out of the stadium?
They kicked everybody out, not just me.
Well, we appreciate the dedication as always, Dan. Thanks so much. And hey, it kind of lived up to the hype there. 50-35, but it really did get close, like you mentioned at the end. It was 43-35 with New Diana driving at one point.
Yeah, that was very impressive. So shout out to them.
Yeah, well, here we go. A good one at our mobile set game. We were talking about this one a little earlier. You saw us with the desk there. The Harmony Eagles ready to take on the ARP Tigers at Hallsville Bobcat Stadium. And of course, a trip to the next round in both team sites. But really, man, it was all Harmony early. They went to the state semifinals last year, looking to do the same again. Boston Seahorn on the keeper. Man, he was taking hits all night long, but he just kept getting back up every time. Nice first down there. And the next play, he's going to air it out. Finds Tyson Jenkins down the sideline to keep the chains moving. And really, everyone's getting the ball this drive. It's going to be a handoff to Evan Weber on the goal line. He's going to go ahead and power this one in for 6. The first score of this game. And Harmony now, after the touchdown, decides, hey, why not? You know what? Let's go for 2. So the 2-point conversion this time is going to be Boston Seahorn again. This time on the keeper, he won't get tackled, and he's in for the easy conversion. Now ARP with the ball, trying to make something happen before it gets too out of hand. On 3rd and long, Frank Smith dropping back, looking for somebody, but this guy's coming in hot behind him, and Frank Smith takes a tough sack. And that's about how that game went for ARP. A fantastic season for ARP. But it'll end tonight in Hallsville, 48-14. Your final in favor of the Harmony Eagles.
Yeah, excited to see Harmony next week. But moving on, we're at Timpson versus Wolf City. A nice little bear infestation tonight as Timpson was taking on the Wolves. Now, Timpson leading 27-7 in the second quarter. That's Timpson quarterback Terry Bussey. No, these highlights were not sped up. He actually just runs that fast. And now, once again, a few plays later, Bussey decides to take care of take care of it himself. He finds a hole, then dashes untouched for 28 yards all the way into the end zone. Now the extra point was good, and the Bears are now 34-7, leading already. Now after driving into Timpson territory, Wolf City's quarterback Carson Heron, he sees a receiver down in the middle, and he secures that one for him. Now we're going to move on, and then on the ensuing drive, Bussey is standing at the goal line. He decides to air the ball out and links up with the diving Amari Bruton for a 54-yard gain. Now, once again, a few plays later, Timpson is killing it at this point. It's looking like this game is theirs, and they're looking into the end zone and finally finding Colton Carroll for a 40-yard touchdown. And the extra point was good for that one. Of course, it seems like I've just been saying the same things because Timpson was killing it
Terry
this game.
Bussey, 58-20 your final. Yeah.
58-20.
There you go. Hey, let's go down and check out what's going on at Royce City ISD Stadium. The Van Vandals taking on Aubrey. Aubrey going to have possession of the ball first here. Quarterback Brock Temple, he's going to take the snap. He's going to hand the ball right on over, but the Vandals defense says no way. And they're pushing him back with a nice little goal line stop there. But Aubrey, oh man, they really want to score. So Temple this time, he's going to take things into his own hands, takes the snap, and this time, no pushback. He's going to get right up the middle, and that is Aubrey touchdown. Let's get to Van now. Vandals with the ball. Quarterback Jackson Moffitt, he's going to take the snap. He's going to look to pass for this one. Let's see. He's going to look for his receiver, going deep, makes a deep throw. It's going to be Caden Rowe who catches it, gets the Vandals into Aubrey territory now. Let's keep it driving. Van looking to get closer to the goal line. Moffitt this time going to take the snap, and this time he's going to hand it off to Austin Moffitt, who's looking to slide through the defense, but gets taken down just a few yards in. The Vandals were struggling to get around Aubrey's defense tonight, and unfortunately it would be the end of the road for the Van Vandals. Aubrey wins 35-14. They're going to move on to face the Gilmer Buckeyes next round.
Now on to Dangerfield versus Hooks. Now Dangerfield coming off of a big win, and Hooks coming off of an even bigger one. Now Dangerfield with the ball. That's Chase Johnson. He takes the snap. He rushed out of the pocket, but no worries for the Tigers. He rushes and he picks up the first down for them. Looking good already. Now later on, it's Johnson with the quarterback keeper for the short yardage touchdown, and the 2-point try ended up failing, so it's 26-6 for the Tigers. Now fourth down and goal, and the Hooks, that Tiger defense is too tough tonight, as Kenny Mosley with the interception in the end zone and runs it out for plenty of breathing room for that offense now. But we're going to go ahead and go to the fourth quarter. Johnson, he hands it off to Braden Lewis. He breaks through the defense down the sidelines for the first down gain. Now, once again, it's Johnson with the quarterback keeper. It was reliable in the beginning. It's going to possibly be reliable now. He gets to the sideline, then plows through that defender defense, and he gets in for them. Now, I'm really interested to see this score. Ooh, Hook scored 92 last week. I mean, Dangerfield shut out their opponent last week, so I don't know. I think I expected it to be a little bit closer.
I'm looking forward to that game now. I mentioned it a little earlier in the earlier show, but it's going to be Dangerfield versus West Rusk next week. Two big-time playoff teams, so I'll be excited to see that as well. Let's talk about Overton, man. A great season they've had so far. They're looking to continue it down in Crockett. They're taking on the Mart Panthers and that dynasty that got going in Central Texas. First quarter here, Bryce Still is going to look downfield. He's rolling out. He's going to go deep to Rylan Holloman. He's going to make that catch down around the 20-yard line, setting up nicely toward the end zone. Mustangs kind of going for the same deal here. Still drops back to pass, intends the same pass, same player, but picked up by Abram Ross, going down the field, rumbling down before being taken down by Matthew McPherson. And the Mustang mascot, you know, not really a fan of that one. Crossed arms and everything. Second quarter now is where Overton tries to pick up some steam, going deep to Isaiah Hawkins. He caught it. He's going to run with it, down deep all the way into the end zone, putting the Mustangs on the board there. Here comes Overton. Momentum keeps going there after that touchdown. The Mustangs on the ensuing kickoff, they're going to go with a little squib kick here, trying to make something happen, a little deep onside kick. Hey, it's going to work because that ball's still loose. There's a lot of Kelly Green on it. That's an Overton recovery, and they have the ball right away. So here we go. Let's try and make something happen here. Mustangs doing what works best for them. It's going to be Bryce Still to Hawkins yet again. It's a repeat of that previous play. It worked before. Let's make it work again. Hawkins walks on into the end zone, putting them up on the board again. But it just wouldn't be enough. Overton's magical season there comes to an end. 66-20. But again, we shouted them out earlier. Huge shout out to head coach Scotty Lamance for even putting them in that position. A 10-win season was unheard of at the start of this year for Overton.
Exactly. 10 wins is amazing for them. So shout out to them for sure.
Absolutely. We're going to have more highlights for some of the games both last night and tonight. That'll be coming up right ahead. We talked about having some great Thursday night playoff games as well. Back over to Rose Stadium. Let's get right into it. Our next game, the Gilmer Buckeyes looking to keep their season alive, taking on the Sunnyvale Raiders. You got a little light mist at Rose Stadium, but hey, nothing like last Thursday as they meet up for that coin toss. Gilmer's going to get the ball first, and it's going to be Caden Tennyson back at quarterback to start this game. He's going to go ahead and launch one right away. This one's deep, and it's going to be past the 50, and in coverage, making the catch is Brendan Webb. Big first down there for Gilmer, but only a field goal on that drive as they start off the game 3-0. On the next drive now, handing it off to none other than our player of the week, the speedy Will Henderson. Breaks a little tackle in the backfield there. He's going to get all the way into the red zone on a great gain, and it's going to set up Gilmer nice. On the 1 yard line, you got to bring out the big guns this time. You got Will Henderson with the speed. You got Aaron Bell with the power. In, and he is way too easy there. Gilmer takes a 10-0 lead early in this one. Mentioned it earlier, game-winning field goal with 7 seconds left. They survive in advance, going to the regional finals for the 17th year in a row. They're going to play Aubrey next round.
Now moving on, also in this bracket, we have the Marshall Mavs. They're getting off to a hot start. Now they're needing that upset tonight versus Midlothian Heritage. They're up 14-3 at the half, and they're going to see if they can go ahead and get this win and get this upset. Now the Jaguars, what make them pay, that's Carter Ruttenbar. to Ryan Satterwhite, and he's in. It's 14-9 after the two-point conversion was no good. So we're going to see that duo again, though. Momentum staying with the Jaguars. That's Rutenbar again to Satterwhite again, and he breaks the tackle and has the first down to put them in a pretty good position. Now they're in the red zone, and it'll be a quarterback keeper from, of course, Rutenbar. He's going to score, making it 15-14 Jags. Now this one was real close for the Mavs. Now one last chance for Marshall. They're down 21-14, and that's Collier Sloan on 4th down, but it'll unfortunately be incomplete, and that's how it ends for Marshall. That one was a tough one.
They were up 14-3 at the half, and they got shut out. Midlothian Heritage, mind you, is the number 2 ranked team in the state.
Yeah.
So what an admirable way to go up for Marshall, but just knowing they had it right there in their hands,
yeah,
too.
Close for sure, but we're going to take another look back at a Thursday game. It's Beckville versus Garrison, and they're at Lobo Stadium for this one. Now, I was pretty surprised with the outcome, but both teams came in with the same record. Now we're going to start in the first quarter. That's Jacoby Williams. He's not getting off to the hot start like he usually does because that Bulldogs defense, they definitely came into this game studying him. But Garrison with possession at Braden Davison, looking and finally spotted Javian Black. He'll go down the sidelines until he's met with a couple of Bearcats at the end there, but he's able to secure the first touchdown. Now Williams, like I said, he was struggling before, but now he's not. He takes that snap and he finds the hole, trucks someone in the process, and he's gonna go all the way to the house. The beast has finally been woken up, and I feel like we're gonna see a lot more of him because we're gonna head into that second quarter. You don't see him just yet, but you're gonna see him soon. That's Jacoby Williams. He breaks out of that pack and he takes off down the sidelines to score yet another house call, and this girl's got the right idea. You can't stop what you can't catch, and they were not stopping Jacoby Williams in that second quarter. But this is the playoffs, and Davidson, with plenty of time, he's looking, and he finds Briley Montgomery out in the open, tying the game up at 14. Just like that, Garrison's offense responds. Now this is where they started to separate themselves as a quarterback keeper, putting them up 21-14 at halftime, and Garrison ends up taking this one 42-28. And we heard from the coach for this one.
It was a great team win tonight. We had some guys make some big plays right before half. We were throwing the ball, moving down the field. The guys, just do a great job, make plays. Our defense did a great job trying to, contain that guy, Jacoby. He's a phenomenal player. But, our guys, they really came out. They played their heart off, and I can't be more proud of them. It was a great team win.
I mean, the goal for them was to just keep Jacoby Williams tamed and then obviously outscore them in offense, and that's exactly what they did.
Yeah, they did it. I mean, it's another tough ending for Beckville. Last year they lost in the second round to Joaquin. This year, another second-round loss. And it's just, it's tough when you got all the talent like you see with Jacoby Williams and all those guys, too. But
yeah, and I really wanted to see that Beckville and Timpson rematch. That was going to be crazy.
You might get the Garrison-Timpson rematch, though, which was a fantastic one, which we saw in the last week of the regular season as well.
I mean, Garrison is now on my radar, so that's going to be just as good.
Well, there you go. Up next, we're going to have top plays. Make sure to stick around. We'll be back right after the break. Well, we saw the results throughout the course of the show, but let's go ahead and take a look at that full schedule for what we see as of right now for those round 3 matchups. Starting off, of course, with the biggest one, Carthage and Pleasant Grove, 2 p.m. Friday at Pine Tree. You just really can't even state just how good of a game that's going to be. To our top 3 teams in the state. Winsboro and Whitney. Windsboro put up 73 points in a win. They've been rolling as well. Dangerfield and West Rusk, another very interesting one in there. And then Lovelady, undefeated, taking on Tenaha, district champions.
And then Harmony and Newton. Harmony got a good win against ARP tonight. Then Lancaster and Longview. Longview has been killing it all season, so I'm interested to see that one. Then Gilmer and Aubrey. And then finally Garrison and Cooper.
We talked all about that big one there, Carthage and Pleasant Grove.
Yeah.
I mean, a game like we said, that's just too soon, honestly.
For sure, but you mentioned Dangerfield and West Rusk. Completely forgot about that one. But Dangerfield has been dangerous this season, so I'm ready to see that one for sure.
They have West Rusk as well, too. And then Lancaster and Longview, a little district rematch.
Yeah.
You know, Lancaster finished 4th in the district, but that game against Longview earlier in the year was actually surprisingly close. Lancaster usually plays tough opponents really close, too, so you never know. But Longview's Longview. You got Taylor Tatum. You got all those guys there. I mean, hey.
Yeah, very valid. We're going to see if Longview is able to do it.
Yeah, there you go. Well, it's that time. We got to go right into it. Our top plays from around East Texas on the night. Let's keep it rolling, starting off with the Carthage scoring machine. This time, Jet Surratt lining up under center. Short drop, deep pass, down the sideline. Braden Manning has it, and he gets that separation all the way into the end zone for a Carthage touchdown.
Now we're going to head over to Timpson because, of course, it's Terry Bussey highlight. He's going to take care of himself. He finds that hole, and he makes that dash for 28 yards into the end zone.
Little 2-part one here for Overton. We're going to start off with that little kind of onside squib kick kind of deal. Whatever it is, it works because Overton dives on it. It's Kelly Green on it. They got the ball, and they're going to try and make something happen against Mart here. Here you go. It's going to be, again, Bryce Still. Hey, it worked earlier in the game, so let's do the exact same play. Bryce Still deep to Isaiah Hawkins, who's going to break the tackle and take it all the way in for a Mustangs touchdown.
Now, New Diana didn't get the win, but this one was a pretty good highlight. They're at the goal line. That's DeJuan Johnson finding the end zone, diving into it. I like that one for sure.
And check this one out. You got to wait on this because this is a long one. It's the opening kickoff of that game of the week. Keep it in the same game. West Rusk will receive the opening kickoff. Jace Reasoner back. He fields it at the 20, breaks a few tackles. All right, now he got the blockers in front of him, and just watch that develop. Reasoner starting the game hot, takes that 80 yards to the house before the fans are even in their seats. One more for good measure. We had to throw this one in here. We got Winsboro and Will Wilcox. We saw this one as well. Kyler Finney throws it out to Will Wilcox. Breaks one tackle, spins around 2, 3. Looks like he's going to take him down at the 5, but he's going to drag defenders all the way in for a Winsboro touchdown. And that was a big man score for Will Wilcox and Kyler Finney there.
The light's very fitting for a play like that. He's
I like that. He got like those silhouettes and everything.
Yeah.
That goes hard, honestly. I love that. Let's go back and look at all the scores, though, from the big games. We talked about the matchups. Let's see how these ones actually turned out here. We saw game of the week 50-35. Got close at the end, but West Rusk with the win. Harmony took down ARP convincingly. 48-21 your final there. Unfortunately, Overton's season came to a close. 66-20 your final in favor of Mart. And then Winsboro, we saw that top play there. There was a lot more in that game, apparently. They took down Teague 73-28.
And then Carthage, of course, getting another win, 49-7 over Van Alstyne. Longview, 52-14 over Frisco Reedy. Van unfortunately fell to Aubrey, 35-14. And then the Tigers facing off Malakoff and Mount Vernon. But Malakoff took this one 66-21.
Well, we're going to go into Thanksgiving week, and if you're still playing football on Thanksgiving week, you know you're having a good season.
Yeah, and that's a good time, and you can eat plenty for Thanksgiving because you're feeling good.
Yeah, well, enjoy your Thanksgiving, spend some time with the family, but make sure to come back here on Friday because we'll have all of those playoff coverage with Under the Lights starting at 6:30 and rolling right back into the 10 as usual. Thanks for joining us tonight, and we'll see you next Friday.